Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Do you feel that energy, that proudness in me? It was a little bit of a boot in the butt for me myself. Sometimes you always hear, let it go, just let it go. But sometimes, and especially if you're highly sensitive, sometimes it takes a little bit to get us moving because we don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what's ahead. And because we're so hyper vigilant, we always want to know every speck of space detailed, right? Before we make moves. We talked a little bit yesterday about dangling heights. And hi, if you've never met me before, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside. Yeah, let's give YouTube a couple of minutes. Get those notifications out. You guys, today was a hard day for Cindy. I almost let myself off the hook, to say, oh, you had a rough day, Cindy. You're drained, you're tired, you're done. Right? You can have the night off. And I give myself permission. I gave myself permission for that. And I didn't want it, because I did do a scary thing today. Like it was one of those moments when you're dangling and you know you're going to fall, but you have no idea how you're going to land. We talked about that yesterday. And I did it. And I came home and I'm drained. I'm done, right? And I'm still a little bit uncomfortable. I'm still a little bit nervous because balls are still rolling. And it's not like there's any agenda in that. However, this plays out, I am 100% good. But what I would not be good with is if I didn't show up tonight. Because looking back on this day, and I just might look back on this day here, let's fix the collar if I'm going to do that, right? I just might look back on this day and just come into this video, and even if I don't go into detail, and I probably never will, right? We'll brush on the topic 100% because it's pertinent to the lessons in my life and to some of those lessons that I'm serving out now. But these are lessons that I had to learn, and I had to listen to myself because I was listening to myself, but in that not knowing where I was going to land, I was procrastinating in that. I was waiting for a better solution, a better opportunity, a better idea. Somebody else to take the reins, somebody else to deal with it, right? And some things are just set in place and we are just experiencing it in our everyday, day to day. And it's just the plan. It's just the way and the things that it's happening, and we don't have control except in how we ride those waves, how we take it on the chin, how we absorb it as a lesson, right? And that's how I would like to look at it. That there are lessons that I held myself up well, that I made the move, that I made that choice. I didn't wait for the 360 or the 90-degree turn to come into my life. That it's not that I'm dictating where I'm going, but I'm dictating the timing, I believe, where the timing is perfectly aligned. That might, not saying it will because I have to play this out, but it might serve me. It might serve me well. It might give me what you guys hear me talk about, the cush in the fall. Knowing I'm going to fall, knowing it's not going to be fun, knowing it's going to be painful, but also at the same time, even in this moment, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to see where my life is going to take me at 63 years old. I have my dreams. I have those things that I'm working towards. But at the same time, right? I was working towards saving a car, but whoever or whatever decided I was not saving for a car. I was saving for possibly a couple of months of roof over my head. See, it's okay. It is okay. And I would like to keep that attitude. I know people are going to be hurrying and scurrying and having little nervous panic attacks as to, right? Because they see things are aligned in ways, right? That could, but those are the the lessons. Those are the tools that I picked up along the way, right? And that is me, even if it's a little bit late, drumming up the courage and making a decision for myself rather than letting someone or something dictate, right? And maybe it's the same change. Maybe the same kind of change is going to happen. Maybe all I'm doing is making it happen faster. But at the same time, what if the other way didn't have as much cush? And that's important. How I absorb the big changes that come into my life. I don't know where I learned that, um, but I think it has probably something to do a little bit with that hypervigilant and always looking to see where the next shoe is about to drop and getting ready for that drop. And that's a sad way to live. And that's a big part of why I am doing what I am doing. Okay, it's all really fresh. It's still all going on. So I'm not going into details, but I'm going to be positive about this. Everybody is just going to be so amazed. It's going to be like the easiest transition ever from one job to the next. It will be. And what that job will be, I have no idea going to take I'm going to take a week for sure and just absorb what I've done, right? I'm not that to myself that I want to make sure that I'm okay, and I am okay. And I want to make sure that others okay because that's the people pleaser in me, right? That doesn't change. I'm not that vengeful person. I'm not that tit for tat person. I'm not, right? I'm just looking to create the best human being I possibly can. And in doing that, I want to be happy. I want to love what I'm doing. I want to love what I'm doing, right? It was a big part of the lessons that have come into my life in the past half a dozen years that it's important for me to love what I do, right? Okay, I'm starting over at 63 years old, right? But it won't be the first time I started over, and who's to say it will even be the last time, right? Can almost guarantee, right? It isn't. So I am looking forward to seeing what the next few days is going to be curious, the next couple of weeks, and then the next few weeks after that. And then maybe at that I'll have a better plan, a better idea. But I sure am glad that I didn't let myself off the hook today, right? I didn't allow myself to come off the hook very much at all. The only difference being is I was kind of stressed. Had a little bit of a tummy ache from having to to, right, get ready for work knowing what the day probably had in store for me. And it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be, right? The brain does lots of running around and lots of storytelling, and I am a creative, that definitely was something I could have turned into something huge. But that's the idea. You just get the ouchie out of the way, like, right? Bite it in the butt, deal with it right away, ride those waves, and then just this is all about is moving. I might have made a stupid move, right? Right? Some people in my life are double checking in on me and stuff, but it's a done deal now. And I knew that I had to do it. If I had not done it, I I would have I would have felt terrible. I would have felt terrible. I would have known that I wasn't taking care of myself, right? I shouldn't allow myself to be in those situations that make me feel that way. And, right, I allowed myself because I can, right? But I can. But what about those other parts of me? Those other parts of me that are having an experience totally different from what I am with these characters, right? And so, right, I have to appreciate that. And I have to trust in those feelings and just not put up with stuff because I can, right? Because I've been around it my entire life, right? Those games that I haven't had to play, right? In those games for a very long time, and I don't know why anybody would think that that is necessary, right? To be doing that, that it was going to serve anybody. It's just also revealing is what it is, right? I showed up tonight, right? I'm proud of that. I'm glad that I did that because I was giving myself, right? I was giving myself, what do you call that? An out for the night, right? It was a good cause. It's a good cause. And you know what? Just coming in here and just saying my say without saying anything. But you guys get the state. I get you guys only have to feel that state that I'm in to know that it was impactful and it is going to be impactful. How it's going to impact my life, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but right? Changes in the air. It's swirling around. I'm gonna laugh my way through the next few weeks. You guys, just wait. It's gonna be amazing, right? I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna have faith in the lessons. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a faith in these lessons for me, right? Okay, you guys. We're just going to grab a word, whether it's pertinent to the conversation, maybe. If not, we're just going to do a couple of minutes, right? First perspective, first thing that comes to my mind, and we'll just go into it for a couple of minutes. This is my 54 powerful words. There are 54 powerful words here, you guys. And there are a few words that are here twice, right? Because they are extra powerful. So they get a little bit extra. Okay, you guys, here we go. Ooh, this is fantastic. Oh, this is so, this is so, this is so fantastic. We got the word wonder. And this is how I am going to look at this entire experience as I'm moving through it and as others are moving through it too, right? I want to make it as easy and as pain free and as negatively impacting on this amazing work that we created, right? I'm very curious to see what the store is going to look like. You know, I, I, right? My absence will be the evidence, and I'll just leave it at that. Okay, what does this card say? Wonder is the majesty of what's being presented. Let me read that again. Wonder is the majesty of what's being presented. Look at this as an opportunity to create something new. It's going to be a good thing because I've been working full time. I have not been consistent because you guys know I show up every day, and I have not been showing up every day because I'm trying to treat myself like I matter. Trying to treat myself like I matter, and I matter so much, right? So I want to make sure that I'm not beating myself into the ground, that I'm not forcing myself to do stuff that I don't want to do. And I did a little bit today, but I did it for my own good. And Cindy was partnered in that 100%. We we escaped. And there will be, what do you call that? Out. Helpful, right? There's gonna stuff come from all of that, but it's gonna be amazing. And in the end, nobody is going to be hurt by that. I am so grateful for that experience. So grateful beyond belief. I have got to get addicted seriously into something that will ground me. That it will be my number one priority, which I suspect to the benefit. It will be more content and maybe better content, maybe better planned out content, right? It is just in that movement and in making those decisions along the way, those little decisions. I really, I really hope that I put a little bit of buffer from that and what could have been. And, uh, what should have been, I have no idea because that has come that has come to an end, hasn't it? But everything is always moving, and I am moving, and I will adapt, and I will conquer, and I will be accountable for my own choices, my good choices, my much needed choices, those choices that have to reflect what I want to believe in so much, right? And yeah, I wonder where this is going to take me, right? Wonders the majesty of what's being presented. Let's see what gets presented by making what I think is a courageous move, right? Or, depending on how you look at it, maybe a silly move, a move that leaves me in dangling heights. Urgh. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. We'll see each other tomorrow. Oh, no, we won't. It's Saturday tomorrow. It's my day off from social media. This is probably a good thing because tomorrow might be a heavy day for me, and am going into my weekend, which is absolutely crazy. And if I'm only there through it for a couple of weeks, then I want to make sure that they are the most amazing couple of weeks ever, that we have lots of fun, that I really dazzle and amaze at, well, what we did, what we created, because we did create something pretty amazing, right? And yeah, I suspect that amazing is going to carry on in the people that, right, picked up lessons along the way, just like I did. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. We'll see you on Monday. Oh, show and tell, you guys. If you guys want to come into my very last show and tell, well, show and tell will still be there. It'll look a little bit different because you guys, things are moving, right? I'm just not spilling out all the beans all at once. Just a little bit of anticipation, right? A little bit of suspense, a little bit of curiosity and wonder as to what's going to be presented next. Everybody, have a great night.